She's heavy hands. Ford just holding good position. Inside tie all the time. Elbow pass attempt. Oh, the Ford high shoulder. Jones high shoulders are for 2. Four is actually awarded. It looked like 4 feet to back, and now she transitioned right into a lace. That was a fantastic high shoulder.
Yep, that's Imani Jones, former Georgia Hammer, now North Central Cardinal, getting it done. U20, 55 kilogram national champion, and we're going to talk all about women's nationals. But first, all right, guys,
let's fucking go. Shit. All right, hang on. All right, my fault. I thought you were gonna wait another second. Shit. Blooper.
All right, guys. You know, the guy sitting with me has been doing a little bit of work over the last year, helping me with Georgia and all those sorts of things. But we've decided that, you know, he's going to do a lot more as it relates to SC Wrestle. So we could say that SC became a little scrappy. Is that how you would like to say it?
You know, I think SC Wrestle got a little scrappy. You know, I think in the long run, a lot of people saw this coming. You and I have worked, like we said, for the past year and a half. We've done a lot of great work together, covered some awesome events. And a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people know this, outside of the content, you and I are good friends and talk very often. So I kind of figured this was going to happen.
Maybe too often.
Yeah, you never know. But I'm excited to just continue to bring more content to the people and more time to make content with you. I'm never going to decline.
All right. Yeah, no, it's going to be great. So the plan is that weekly, you and I are going to get together and we're going to talk about whatever's going on that week or coming up in the past, so on and so forth. And this week, man, it's a great week to start off because women's nationals just happened this past weekend in Spokane, Washington. And man, the Southeast, those girls were scrappy.
We did some numbers. We got a lot of girls on the podium. A couple of them, hey, they got to now book some flights to Turkey. You got a couple girls now that they got to start hitting up Delta, hitting United up. Let's see how we get these flights going, and I'm excited for a lot of them.
Yeah.
Fowler just looks at the clock. Not sure if Michelle's going to take an attack. She looks a little distraught. As the match ends and Fowler wins it 10-2. And I'm going to guess becomes our national champion. With that smile on her face, she has to be the national champion. Piper Fowler from Tennessee, our national champion at 73 kilograms.
Yeah, no, it's so awesome. I mean, even those, you know, if they didn't, I mean, everybody goes out there to win a title, but
obviously,
you know, making the podium amongst the best in your age group at your classification of all the women in the country,
that's quite an accomplishment for sure.
Right?
It's for sure a notch in the belt for sure for girls able to make her way to the podium, especially as we see girls wrestling continue to grow and participation numbers continue to skyrocket, which is incredible. It's awesome to see, and with a lot of girls that we'll get to, I mean, you want to talk about development and growth and just how good these girls are, bro. Up and up is the only way they go.
I agree. All right. So, first thing I want to make sure that we communicate to everybody is that we tried to find everyone who was affiliated with the Southeast. We might have missed someone. If we did, we apologize. You know, that's just the way it works. It's sometimes a little bit difficult to tell. So, but we do know that there are links or ties to the Southeast from this next group that we're about to talk about. And we got to start off with one of our two U17 national champions, May Prado of Georgia, 65 kilos. how good was May this weekend, Lucas?
I mean, first off, let's give a tip of the cap to all the work that she's done, but also, I mean, that's a level up product right there. That's Donovan Pannone. Like the amount that they work together, and that having seen her in that room put the work in with fellow All-American that we'll get to, Genevieve on as well. I mean, May just went out there and took care of business. And I'm excited because, not only do I know her as a friend, I get her on my Fierce and Scrappy team later this summer. So I'm hyped for that. But,
Oh,
you know,
wow. You got a national champion on your Fierce and Scrappy team?
why do you think I immediately posted it? Why do you think that? But no, and the other thing is, if you don't know May, couldn't have happened to a better person. Like
Yeah.
she's just bubbly and gives everybody high fives and just uplifts everybody and is an awesome person. So I'm super happy for her. She deserves it. She's put the work in. She's earned it. And now she's got to get a flight to Turkey. And she wrestled incredible this weekend. Put on an absolute show.
Well, and I watched you all weekend. I mean, I know I'm all the way back in Georgia and you're all the way out there in Washington, but you got down in a couple of matches by some points, and yet you just continued to kind of grind and stay in position and keep working for points and chipping away. I mean, in Georgia, you kind of, you do your thing, right? But you've had to kind of fight through some tough spots this past weekend.
Yeah, I noticed in a lot of my matches, I usually don't get the first takedown, but after the first takedown, I just reset and get the next points and try to score as much as I can.
So joining her, hopefully on that flight to Turkey, she is also a national champion, is a Cleveland, Tennessee, Piper Fowler, who won the U73 kilos, and came in as the top seed, did everything. I mean, really just wrestled unbelievably great to take that title.
Boskin trained. I mean, that's Josh Boskin right there, who you want to talk. I've had some experience with him, wrestled on higher calling with him back in the day. The dude knows his stuff, and Piper wrestling with him and that whole Cleveland crew. She's went up. I mean, it's one of the things where we've watched her grow from a girl that we saw and we're like, okay, she might be able to make it. She's got to keep it pushing, and she's done that, and she's made it all the way now to the top of the podium, world team member, and she deserved it. Also had an incredible performance this weekend, wrestled her tail off to get there to the finals.
Yeah, she did. All right, so who are our other All-Americans in U17s?
So at 40 kilograms, Southeast had a couple more on the podium. That's Annalise Marillet, out of South Carolina. And in fourth place, Sophie Boo of Florida. Then Miliana Borelli out of Florida. She got 7 to 53 kilograms. Grace Leota took fourth at 73 kilograms. And as well, Genevieve On got fifth at 73 kilograms at U17. In total, the Deep South put together 7 All-Americans at 17U, which I don't know, but that looks like an incredibly high number for the Southeast. I don't know if that's a record, but I mean, look, you've been around wrestling since the Southeast only had 3 states in it. We had 13 colonies in total. So you might be able to give me a better idea.
and we carried muskets, right? And everything
for
else.
Sure. Bro, reloads took 10 minutes.
Yeah, no. So I'll be honest with you. I do think that certainly in terms of champions, I don't know that I can remember a time when we've had so many champions, and champions not only at U17s, but U20, U23s, at least connections to the Southeast, but also the depth at U17s. I don't know that we've ever put 7 on the podium before. 2 Georgia girls, 3 Florida girls, Tennessee, South Carolina. Yeah. It's not just one state either.
Yeah, no. This was a collective performance by the Southeast. And not to say that we as a unit of the Southeast always get along, but when it comes to wrestling the rest of the country, I feel like when we see another member of the Dirty South doing business, we like to kind of give a little tip of the cap, I feel as though. So it's cool to see for sure.
I agree. So what's funny is that Fowler and and May Prado weren't our only national champions.
No,
Tell us
they
a
were
little
not.
about our U20.
U20 champion Amani Jones. That is Ola Wrestling CMP fam now at North Central. I have known her and her brother gotta be a decade now at this point, and to watch the killer that Amani. For those of you who don't know, she was a axe murderer in high school. Like Amani has been this good, and as someone that has been in a wrestling room with her and Reese, has been in close proximity to the Jones family. It's incredible, and I love to see it. I remember when we went to the Knockout SummerSlam and she won Pan Am's, the entire house went ballistic with Team Fat and Scrappy. The entire crew, my mom, my dad, we all went ballistic. So I'm excited for Amani. She deserves it. I'm happy to see her get back on the world stage.
Well,
Or earn her way back to it.
And she was dominant. I mean, she had a tech fall in her first of the two finals, or there's supposed to be 2 or 3 in the finals, but when you win both of them right off the bat, you don't have to go to a third match. She had a tech fall, didn't give up a point, and then won 12-3 to earn her championship. That is super talented, and she just seems to get better and better and better. So also from the Southeast, and again, we're gonna make some connections here. Sarah Savage from Colorado is at Life University. She was second at 59 kilos. Claire Bowie from Florida was 5th at 50 kilos. I think she wrestles up in Pennsylvania during the year, but it's from Florida. Valerie Solorio, same thing. She moved up to Pennsylvania. She was 8th at 50 kilos. Juliana Diaz from Florida, 8th at 53 kilos. Paige Weiermeister, who I believe is at Presbyterian and is from Missouri, was 7th at 65 kilos. And again, once these girls kind of come into the Southeast from another location, or our Southeast girls who go away, it's sometimes a little bit difficult based upon the registration and everything else to kind of keep track of where they are. But those are the ones that we know of from the Southeast, or at least have ties to the Southeast.
I'm going to throw one more in there that I almost missed this morning because I was just looking at states, like you said. Shout out Caitlin Lewis, U20, 72 kilograms. She wrestles here at Bruton Parker. She took a 7th place performance. Shout out to her. I helped her make weight for this event. We were wrestling a lot so she could get the weight down. So shout out to her. She had a good performance as well this weekend. Figured I'd throw some Bruton Parker love out there. Shout out BPC.
Absolutely. Did I miss it? Were there any others that were on the list U20s?
Not at U20 or U23, but I know at the U.S. Open we're sending a whole host of people.
Okay. Well, and you know what? In a future episode, we will definitely make sure we try to make those connections, because just like the girls, the guys, it sometimes is difficult to kind of keep track of and everything else. So, all right. So jumping up to U23. Again, another champion. And yes, she is a Pennsylvania girl, but she wrestles at King. Montana DeLauder is your national champion at 57 kilos. Congratulations.
DeLauder pulling a front head hold position, or trying to pull a front head hold position. She was able to capture the head, but getting behind that arm's been tough, and that was a really, really savvy inside trip from it. They went 4 offered, 4 confirmed, feet to butt back.
Congratulations to her. King brought a ton of girls to the women's nationals. They looked awesome. They wrestled super, super well, led by Montana. Yes, she's not technically a Southeast girl, but you know what? She wrestles at King. So we're going to go ahead and kind of give her a shout out from us.
She gets adopted. She gets adopted into the Southeast. U23, 3 more All-Americans. Samara Chavez also goes to King out of Texas. She got 6 at 53 kilograms. Marisol Nugent, I believe. Please bear with me if I butchered that. I do apologize. She was runner-up at 62 kilograms. She goes to UNC of Chapel Hill by way of Massachusetts. And then Chloe Ogden, also a Tar Heel, by way this time of Florida. She got 6 at 68 kilograms. U23, this Dirty South, had 4 All-Americans, 2 from UNC and 2 from King.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And there might have been a few others from somewhere else.
Probably.
But as a whole, like you said just a little bit ago, Southeast really had a good tournament out in Spokane, Washington. Man, 4 national champs who are 3 of which, I mean, we have wrestled high school here in the Southeast, and then Montana, who is down in wrestling at King. Man, 4 national champions. That is quite a thing. Are we going to see? I mean, it's getting better and better and better and better, right?
I mean, I think that as the Southeast continues to grow as a whole, I feel like the girls wrestling scene, as it's already exploding, as if it's not exploding already, I feel like that it's just going to continue to grow alongside. And as more people like, and I'm not tooting my own here, but as more people like myself and you, we cover the sport, and as well as more things, there are things cooking that there are plans that are being made in a lot of different ways, and I feel like the Dirty South is only going to continue to grow, especially with the girls scene. Clubs like Level Up, Bowskin in the Southeast, Florida. I'm not as familiar with the club scene, but obviously there's a lot of really good clubs that do good work down there. So it's just awesome to see.
All right. So shout out to all the girls, all the women who went out and competed, whether you made the podium or not. Tip of the cap for putting it on the line, towing the line out there.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're now going to transition to some upcoming events. Is that a good way to talk about it?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it.
All right, so there's a lot going on in the Southeast coming up. Southeast Regionals for USA Wrestling. Obviously you've got Fargo. But you also have Disney duels. Although I was told last year it's not Disney, it's Scholastic Duels, blah blah blah. Yeah,
Guess
we
what?
got
I don't
it.
care. It's still,
Yeah.
it's Disney Duels,
right?
Hey, and Fargo's not called Fargo; it's called the USMC now. So guess what? Who cares?
And we've got a ton, and we've got one that's kind of special.
So and I don't want to toot my own horn here, but when we were talking about this segment, Jason basically ordered me that I have to talk about this. So I'm going to the Don Silva Memorial Duels held at Bruton Parker College. For those of you who don't know, I lost my pops May 12th of last year. And, not only did I love him, but he was a big part of the wrestling community. A lot of people down here knew of him and had a lot of connection to him. He was a character that, people loved. So I felt as though it was only right to host a dual tournament in his honor, doing it at Bruton Parker College. Shout out, by the way, let me first and foremost, shout out the administration and staff here at Bruton Parker for giving me the okay to use their facilities. And it's a high school freestyle dual meet, boys division. Obviously, if a girl wants to come get some work, we're never going to say no. As it stands, 9 teams coming: Team Fat and Scrappy, Assassins at Alabama, Beacon Light Warriors, Compound, Gulf Coast Grappling, MF Savages, Money Team, Reverence Wrestling Club, Swamp Monsters out of California, and the Backyard Bullies as well out of the Augusta area. Still looking for a couple more teams. If you're interested, beat my line. Y'all know where to contact me, but I'm just super excited. I'm putting together a good squad, and there's going to be a campus tour for the seniors class of 23 or 24. So if you got a kid at your club that's looking for a place to wrestle at the next level and he still hasn't found his home yet, bring him down to Bruton Parker June 2nd and June 3rd. I'm super excited. I have a lot of really awesome people that are helping me run the event and get it all set up. And I'm blessed at the outreach I've had, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And man, let me tell you something. It's awesome to be on this end of it finally. And now we get to do something cool for my dad. Top 4 teams get custom team trophies, custom Sasquatch paw print medals to the undefeated wrestlers. And the plan, but the plan is a custom championship belt for the voted OW that the coaches will vote on. At least that's the plan as it stands. The 4 trophies are going to be Sasquatches, because if you couldn't tell, I got the tap from my dad. That's a Sasquatch. He was kind of a lumbering individual, so we all kind of made the joke that he was a Sasquatch. So that's the plan. I'd love to get some more teams down here. My hope will be 12 to 16. I right now got 9. So if you're interested, y'all know where to hit me up.
Well, and the other thing I'd tag on to that is that we're all about promoting the sport for all tournaments and camps and those sorts of things.
Absolutely.
I know Guerrilla Academy up in North Georgia is having a camp. I know that down in over by Opelika, they're bringing in Roman Bravo Young for a camp.
That's awesome.
You know, we've got lots of different things happening in the coming months. And
Absolutely.
you know, if you want to wrestle and you want to get better, you really, I mean, we'll try to pull together all the resources. So you shouldn't have to look very far to get some really
Absolutely.
good competition, training, whatever the case is.
And if you're looking to host an event this summer, or you're planning it, I've had a couple coaches already hit me up, or maybe even early in the regular season, the fall, hit one of us up, send us the information, and we'll talk about it on this segment here on the show, and we'll try to get the outreach for you. So me
Yeah,
and Jason
if we can
talked-
help, you know,
Yeah,
we'll totally
me
do
and
it.
Jason talked about it, that modus operandi for both of us is growing the sport. So if we can do that by bringing teams in and helping people get more teams and kids to events, bro, that's the whole goal.
All right. So we're going to end this segment with our biggest part of this, and that is a huge event that's coming up between Team Georgia, Team South Carolina, Team North Carolina. I think Sammy Roundtree is calling it Beast of the Southeast up in, is it Hoxton? Is that how you say it?
Houston,
Georgia.
I believe. Houston. I could be wrong, though, but that's
Okay.
how I've always said it.
All right. You know what? You probably know better than I do. North Georgia. It's going to be, I think it's streamed on Rockfin. Are you announcing? Is that right?
Oh, you know it, brother. I'm getting on the microphone. Me and Carolina Takedown talk. We're going to be on the microphone at the event. All three of these teams are bringing absolute murderers rows up and down the lineup. I'm excited for it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm pumped.
All right. So let's throw up the graphic and kind of take a look at some of the different the lineups as they currently stand. And as we know, things haven't changed. They can change. You know, we've been a part of Elite Eight and other, you know, other events before where we've had last minute changes. But as we head into this coming weekend on Sunday afternoon, well, it's not just Sunday afternoon, it's all day Sunday.
Yeah,
You can't make it. It's on Rockfin, but please come out and watch some great wrestling.
If you're within 2.5 hours and you're not there, you don't love wrestling.
All right. So I think, man, I don't have it off the top of my head. I don't know what the first duel is. It's North Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina. Is that right?
I think it's Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina. I do believe that is the order.
All right. So I want you to I don't want to go through each and every single matchup because that's going to take way too long.
Yeah, no.
But as you look at this, why don't you give me 3 matchups, 3 weights that you're most interested in that opening duel between Georgia and North Carolina?
So the first one for me that sticks out is at 120 pounds, TK Davis and Cooper Davis. I think that one has got a lot of potentials to be a barn burner. And as well, for a guy like TK Davis, who hasn't wrestled a lot of freestyle, you run into Cooper Davis. All right, this is getting thrown to the wolves a little bit. We're going to see how this really goes down. Then we'll jump up to 152 pounds, Jeremiah Price, Seth Larson. I don't need to say any more. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't say another word. Just that matchup. And then for me, there's a couple other ones up top, but I'm going to go at 195 pounds. Thomas Brooker going up against Logan Eller, who's in replacement for Hoke Poe Hogan, who scheduled a visit to West Virginia that weekend. So shout out to Hoke. But Eller and Brooker, let me tell you something. That one could be a slugfest. Don't be surprised if that one we get some cautions because they just turn it into a bar fight in a phone booth. So I'm excited to see that one.
Well, and Brooker and Eller wrestled at NHSCA's. Brooker won, I think, by a takedown, and they're future App State teammates.
Oh my! Ain't that something?
That's a thing to kind of keep in mind. That'll be fun to watch. I'll go ahead and add what? Yeah,
intriguing.
All right, so I'm gonna add one more, and that is 182 Matthew Waddell and Cage Williams. Cage Williams is, and there's a lot that we can pick from, but Cage Williams might be considered the best kid in North Carolina, behind maybe Jeremiah Price, maybe Cameron Stinson. Cage Williams is certainly right up there as far as I think if you were to ask North Carolina people, right up there. And Matthew Waddell is on his way to Hofstra, is super good, super talented. So that would be another matchup that
Agreed.
that I'd be really interested in. All right. So in that duel, Georgia, North Carolina, do you have a prediction?
So I don't know how they're scoring it, if they're going via matches, and I'm not going to try to get into bonus points, but I have it Georgia over North Carolina 9-5.
Okay. All right. So let's move to Georgia, South Carolina. And again, I want you to give me your 3 matchups that you're most interested to watch.
All right, so first one for me comes at 113 pounds, Antonio Mills versus a guy that is a little unknown in the Southeast, but I really like Ricky Springs. I've taught him at a couple of events, and I just really like what I see out of him. So for me, it's more of a, I want to see how does he handle a guy like an Antonio Mills, who we know is an absolute murderer. No question about it. Springs, I feel like, is on his way up. So I'm curious to see how can he handle a guy like Antonio Mills.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we go to 138 pounds for me, Blue Stifler, George Maholtz. I've known George Maholtz a long time. Kid's tough as hell, and you run into a Blue Stifler basically at home at Roundtree Wrestling Academy. I'm excited to see that one. And then same type of thing. There's a couple of big ones up top. But I got to go with Team Fat and Scrappy getting represented here. Caleb Pruitt up at heavyweights. He goes up against John Burke, who in of himself is a really super tough heavyweight, especially in freestyle. We've seen him get down to business. So I'm excited to see those 3 matchups, as well as there's some other good matchups there that you'll probably get into now.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you 2 additional ones, and that is 120. TK Davis is super talented. People in Georgia know who he is, and so on and so forth. Gianni Batone is a freshman and is a very good freshman from South Carolina. Definitely one to watch. I don't know if he can take out a TK Davis, but that is definitely one I'm going to keep an eye on. And then the other one is another 182-pound matchup, and that is between Waddell and Kason Howell. I'm not sure how if he either was a Fargo All-American last year or not. I know he has been on All-American on the podium at NHSCAs and is super, super talented. He's only won state titles in the state of South Carolina. I don't think he's ever finished anything lower than first. So
yeah, probably not.
That
kid's tough.
Yeah, definitely one to watch. All right. So how do you see Georgia, South Carolina?
So this one I feel like has a lot of swing matches. But maybe this is Georgia bias, and the people of the Palmetto Tree, you guys could yell at me in the comments. I go Georgia 10-4.
All right. Okay. All right. I do think that Georgia has some depth that it'll be interesting to see how South Carolina matches up with them. Let's move.
The thing is, so if you tell me you had it 7-7 based on the swing matches, I could see where you could say that. I think South Carolina has got some work to do to make that happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia wins more matches against South Carolina, but the team score is closer than it is with North Carolina.
All right. South Carolina, North Carolina. Battle of the Carolinas.
This
3
one
matches.
This one is a lot of fun. I think you go to 106 pounds to start between Horton and who?
I don't know. Churbajinsky?
Sure. And Zachary. Zach, please.
Zach. Yeah, let's just go with
when
Zach.
I get there, please smack me in the head and tell me how to say your last name. Like, I'm not, but that match, I feel like, has got a lot of opportunities to be a lot of fun. Then you go to 120 pounds, Gianni Batone and Cooper Davis. That might just be match of the night. You want to talk about a match where there might be 50 points scored? There you go. And then for me, you go to 182 pounds, Cage Williams, Kason Howell. I think 182 pounds might be the best weight at this event. All 3 of them are killers. So those matchups for me really jump off the page.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I'm going to go ahead and, like I did before, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 or 2 more. And actually, one of them is 138 with Maholtz and Lorenzo Alston. Lorenzo Alston made NHSCA finals and at the freshman division. He was a freshman state champion in the state of North Carolina. Definitely one to watch. And then at 145, Isaiah Wysong from May River and Tyler Tracy, I think are definitely ones to watch. I mean, look, honestly, you could go Jack Weiland and Jeremiah Price. You could go down the list. I mean, we could talk about all of them, but we're just trying to highlight a few of them.
Chandler Sewell and Kevin O'Brien is a sleeper match. I don't think a lot of people are going to be looking at, but having watched both them wrestle at 126 pounds, oh, that one has got a lot of opportunity to be some fun.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot again. North Carolina, South Carolina. Which of the Carolinas gets to plant their flag?
So I have it split 7-7 in matches, but give me North Carolina on bonus. I think this duel is going to be razor sharp. Like that duel right there will probably be the closest of the night. Two really tough teams that, there are certain states that I feel like there's rivalries between. With Georgia, I feel like the main rivalry is Florida. And for the Carolinas, I don't think they care about the rest of the country. I think for an extent, they just want to be better than the other one. So I'm expecting fireworks in that duel. And the coaching staff for all three teams are incredible. So you're going to get the best of each guy. I
agree. All right. So this Sunday, starting, I think the weigh-ins are at 10. So I think we might start at 11.
It says 10 a.m. weigh-in, 11 a.m. warm up, noon Eastern, Georgia versus North Carolina, 2 p.m. Battle of the Carolinas, 4 p.m. Palmettos versus the Peaches.
All right. And we hope everybody comes out. And if you're not able to, Rockfin and Lucas will be on the mic. I'm going to be there taking pictures, taking some video, posting some stuff to YouTube and things along those lines. Lucas, welcome to the family, man.
I'm excited, man. Like I said, this has kind of been on my mind for the past little bit that we've been working together. I kind of had a feeling that this would happen at some point, and I'm just pumped, man. I'm so excited to work with you more and to provide content for the great audience that you have, and it's a great opportunity for, I think, both of us to really be able to do some good stuff for the sport of wrestling, which both of us are kind of in alignment that is the biggest thing about what we do.
Absolutely. And now if somebody's mad at me, I can just blame it on you.
Probably. Don't worry. There's a couple things I'm already planning on doing that I'm like, oh, I'm going to make some people mad with these.
All right, guys. So tune back in every Tuesday. The plan is to drop a new one. I'm sure part of our results for next week will be a highlight of this coming, the Beast of the Southeast event.
Probably.
But if you want to, again, like Lucas said, you want us to highlight an event, a camp, or something like that, that's what we're going to try to plan for the middle of the show. And then I don't know what we'll plan for the latter half of the show for next week. But Lucas, it's great talking to you, man. I appreciate you doing it with me.
Always, man. Yes, sir.
See ya. Bye.